Hello everyone, I've been really hyped for the Xenoblade Genesis trailer, as you could probably tell by my Twitter posting constantly, like a chronically online brain-rotted Xenoblade fan. But yeah, I just wanted to do a sort of quick, analysis slash reaction to the Xenoblade Genesis trailer, and just kind of give my thoughts on it, and maybe spew a few theories out, I don't know. But yeah, let's get into it. So immediately, this is what already brought my, captures my interest already. Anima, which, from seeing this trailer before, as there was a quote going, "We live and die" by Anima, I imagine it's something similar to, maybe Xenoblade 3, but I feel like that's a bit too far-fetched, especially considering it doesn't seem like they're worried about, time or something, at least from this trailer. I don't know, maybe it'll be completely different going forward. But yeah, that's just my sort of guess right now. That I imagine that Anima is going to be it's kind of like the Ether of this universe. I imagine it's going to be like Ether. Especially since it says Anima is the source of all things. Ether, especially in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, that world was made basically completely of ether. That's really interesting, because I think, if I remember correctly, in Xenogears, there's actually something very similar with this. I'll show a picture on screen, but it's something very similar, and I'm pretty sure it comes up a bit later as well. So yeah, this is definitely, the new protagonist here, and that's probably gonna be, this version's game of, what is the Monado? This is Eleonora. Eleanor. This is Eleanor, which has been doing rounds on on Twitter. This is a translation of her name, so until the official translation comes out, we don't know yet. And this is probably what's going to be the main blade. I don't know if it's going to be anything significant going forward. It probably will be, knowing how Xenoblade Chronicles is when it comes to the main sword you get at the beginning, with the Monado and Pyra's sword. The setting is really interesting to me. We've not had anything like this before in Xenoblade, where it seems like an academy, which is definitely getting destroyed in Chapter 2, I think. This academy here, this is not standing. This is not lasting at all. It's not gonna live. It's not gonna last. But yeah, this is Leukos. I really hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, this one here is really interesting. I actually had a bit of disbelief first watching this, that I didn't think this was Marlos or whatever, because the purple obviously is really similar. But if we just continue, but obviously, as we see here, this becomes very similar to Numa's sword, and that really changed my perspective. I really do think that the Aegises, maybe Numa specifically, will have a lot of relevance with this in some sort of way. Obviously, with it still being called Xenoblade, they're continuing with the actual Xenoblade series, because every other, Xeno series is mostly disconnected from each other. Xenogears has its own sort of things going on, Xenosaga as well, with just a couple of connections within Xenoblade. Across from them both. I really feel like this one's gonna still have some big major connections, considering it's still called Xenoblade. Just that it's under a new sort of subtitle being Genesis instead of Chronicles, which with Genesis meaning beginning or to begin, something like that. This could be people have been speculating this could be a prequel. I hold a bit of disbelief to that. I don't think it's going to be a prequel, but yeah, well, time will have to just tell. But I don't think it's going to be a prequel, since in my opinion that wouldn't really make sense, because where would you fit that? Why would it be why would the world be like this and the prequel would have to be Earth or something like that? Then when the Klaus experiments happen, it's like, the world only split into two. Where would this one fit in? It just doesn't make sense to me. I have no idea. But I think it's going to be just more of a general sequel, if anything. But it's going to be like set somewhere completely different from the worlds we know. Yeah, saying that like their life will be intertwined with that stone. So clearly the stone that was infused with their blade, that looks like Malos and Yuma, has a lot of significance. That's really just building up to how they could be playing a big part. Yeah, that's how you know this is Xenoblade with the grassy fields. Wow. This is probably like the Gower Plains and the Gormat of this game, probably. And this is a really big first, because we're actually getting like rideables that are actually like, you know, usable. I think the only time we actually got something that was like a vehicle or a rideable that actually, you know, gave you speed was the boat you would get from the city in Xenoblade 3. But it's the first time that we're getting something like that's actually a rideable animal, which I think is really cool. We really needed that, and that's probably going to play into how this game will just be one giant landmass, kind of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, instead of like being sort of areas, like big areas that you would sort of like, that would sort of be like on their own sort of thing. Yeah, like how fast they go as well. It's clearly built because of how big the land will be. You can see it go all the way over there, and I do think the entire place will be open to you. It's not going to be areas you have to unlock, like the Titans in Xenoblade 2. I think you're going to have access to it all at once. Now, this power system is really interesting to me, because I imagine this is still the Amina stuff, like Aoife, and like channeling into it. That's just like, that just really reminds me of like Blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They will, the more Aoife they have, the more amplification their powers have. That's why they get weaker. I forget the name, but that one like tomb area, I'll show a picture. But that's why they get weaker there, because there's a lot less Aoife. So if this is playing by that same logic, then Amina is going to definitely be a sort of like power system that will boost abilities. Yeah, this one I've seen online. People really think that's Numa just because of the green crystal. I don't know, but it could be. I really have no idea. But if it's already been shown prior to be like Numa's sword, especially put into the blade earlier with the orb, I really don't know what this could be. It could be something completely different. But the light in that is literally 1-to-1 with Numa, so it very well could be. It very well could be. Also, a rideable dragon, that's just fucking cool. This really reminds me of like Xenoblade X with like the skulls where you can get the flight like mods on them. Except, you know, it's an actual dragon. I think that's going to be so cool. This is definitely going to be something that's like very late game, or you unlock it like after the final boss. It could be something like that, but I imagine it's going to be very late game this well. Yeah, this character specifically, she's really intriguing. I don't know their name, but as for now, let's just call them like Jane Xenoblade or something. I don't know. But I really do think they're going to play a more antagonistic role and then sort of like join the party later, like help out. Very similar to like Nia at the beginning. She, well, they weren't really antagonistic at the beginning, but they were never really like friendly either. They only started to become friendly on the boat scene, but yeah, it could be like that, but like obviously amplified. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one will play out. I do think she will play more of an antagonist role, which she will be redeemed for later on in the story. Yeah, you can see them like fighting the like Eleonora. So Yeah, they're definitely going to be an antagonist or have some sort of grudge. Also, finally, like, elves being added to Xenoblade. I really thought that was something we needed for so long. It's giving me a lot of, like, Fire Emblem vibes. Who the fuck are you? I'm sorry, who is that? Who is that? I really hope this is, like, not going to replace Nopons. Like, I wouldn't mind it, because having, like, a whole new sort of, like, world for Genesis, like, new species would be absolutely incredible. But I really hope that we still have Nopons in the story. That would still be incredible, because Nopons are a staple. They can't get rid of them. I do imagine this guy here, or gal, I don't know yet, will be a party member. Maybe replacing, like, Nopon party members instead. They do look pretty interesting. Hello there. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. He just looks like, he looks very similar to, that final boss in, the Golden Country of Torna. He looks very similar, just a bit more composed, I guess. Oh yeah, that's going to be a scene where, like, oh yeah, I don't... Considering the sword is on the ground, she looks defeated. They're definitely going to be a close friend to the protagonist. They're probably going to be a party member as well, very most likely. In this scene, how I will interpret it, I think they're definitely going to be like, oh, the main character gets defeated, or at least severely wounded, and this is like going to a rage with Amina, like it going out of control. Yeah, the Six Sons. Yeah, this one as well. I've seen a lot of hints with this one being connected to Xenogears, which is going to be really interesting as a sort of idea. I personally have not played Xenogears. I'm definitely going to in preparation for the release of this game because I feel like it's going to have so much connection. But yeah, however relevance this will have, I've seen a lot of evidence of Xenogears being connected in some way. Especially with that mountain with the dragon on screen. It looked really similar, as people were saying, to the ship that was traveling to the Eta Conarne Nebula, which was actually the Philadelphia settlers, like the Philadelphia-class motherships. And this was actually first spoken about in Xenoblade Chronicles Future Redeemed, with the, you know, the legendary radio, which was going to the Carnina Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way, sort of as like, kind of like a Xenoblade X situation, I imagine, where they were all trying to like escape. I do think that this game will have a lot of connection, based on what I've been seeing so far. And there we go. There's the big, like, bit with... This is definitely going to probably be the actual main box art of Xenogears. Definitely more edited, like, with the actual cast around and that. It's definitely going to be very open. You're probably going to be able to travel from here, going all the way, you know, over there. And the world will probably move with how you go, since, you know, the Earth travels in a giant globe, but it's inverted. God, this world looks so interesting. I've seen people theorize that this is actually like Cauldron. I can't pronounce the name properly. Cauldron from Xenoblade X. I mean, it looks similar, but to me it's just like a lava place. Also, that's like a mini Monado right there. I think that's just a reference, but that's actually really cool. There we go, Xenoblade Genesis. 2027. Final thoughts? I'm super excited. I can't wait for this game to come out. It's going to be incredible. I'm definitely going to be playing it, streaming it, day one. It's going to be a hit. It's going to be great. So, yeah. Thank you a lot for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye.